We can tie supporting alternative, non-corporate media, we can tie that exactly into buying local food and getting involved in making that happen wherever you are. It's all connected. I know I keep saying that. I said it several times in the last New World Next Week. But it's true. And again, as you go through all this data mining and information more and more, you'll start to see it more and more. That things are connected, that there is something happening here. Whether it's being let happen on purpose or made to happen on purpose. We don't really subscribe to the accidental theory of history. There is a conspiratorial red thread running throughout mankind's history. And we generally see it as what's really manifesting right now, in a way, is that it's a lot of times the banksters versus the people. But having said all that, we're now going to shift over to cyberspacewar.com for all the latest on the attacks of outer space and inner space. Chinese airport closed after fiery UFO is spotted flying over the city. This going back actually to July 11th and probably the 10th. Chinese airport was closed after a mysterious object was spotted in the sky, and there are some amazing photos. Interestingly enough, let's hop down quickly. A local bus driver, giving his name only as you, said he had seen a strange glowing object in the sky late on Wednesday afternoon. The thing suddenly ran westwards fast, like it was escaping from something, he said. Inbound flights were diverted to nearby airports, while outbound flights were delayed for 3 or 4 hours. Some Chinese experts claimed that the strange sight was actually debris from a U.S. intercontinental ballistic missile. Chinese officials later said that they knew what the object had been, but were unable to make it public because there was a military connection. As there always seems to be. And I think ultimately that's why we see so little disclosure, if you will, about unidentified flying objects, because they like us to speculate about little green men and take it down wild, crazy roads. And again, that extrapolates out to not releasing Pentagon attack video from 9/11, because it's better for everybody to all speculate about ridiculous things, muddying and poisoning the whole well of it all. Oh, tangents. You derail my brain. Let's quickly keep moving, my friends. Scientists find most massive star ever discovered. This from the Associated Press. Huge ball of brightly burning gas drifting through a neighborhood galaxy may be the heaviest star ever discovered, 100 times more massive than the sun. Scientists said this last Wednesday after working out its weight for the first time. Those behind the find say the star, called R136A1, may have once weighed as much as 320 solar masses. Astrophysicist Paul Crowther said the obese star, twice as heavy as any previously discovered, has already slimmed down considerably over its lifetime. It's burning itself off with such intensity that it shines at nearly 10 million times the luminosity of the sun. And I believe we do link up in there that the sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace. And I think going along with that quite well, this from the register.co.uk. Underground tunnel complexes found on the moon. Space boffins believe they may be on the verge of discovering a vast hidden network of tunnels beneath the surface of the moon. The tunnels aren't thought to be the work of long extinct or perhaps still surviving intelligent moon aliens, perhaps driven to adopt a subterranean existence by a notional disappearing atmosphere eons ago, nor is any involvement by Tibetans, Elvis, or others seeking a secluded dwelling far from prying human eyes suspected. Instead, top moonologists think that they might be on the track of lava tubes not dissimilar to those of Earth. A lava tube, unsurprisingly, is a tube in solid surrounding rock around at which some point liquid lava has flowed or is still flowing in some earthly cases. When the lava cools and solidifies, there's often an open space left above its surface, forming a tunnel. More links in there to Duluth News Tribune, techeye.net, and redorbit.com. Let's get to two big DEF CONs on cyberspace war. Again, our DEF CONs are just our ugly news purge list of headlines. So going back to 7/15, July 15th, tracked, traced, and databased. 10 ways we're being tracked, traced, and databased from, again, the aforementioned fantastic activistpost.com. Consumer group sniffs Congresswoman's open Wi-Fi. That's from Threat Level, and we're going to see the story pop up and bob and weave throughout the rest of these stories on this B-side episode 178 from MediaMonarchy.com. This is what it sounds like when the internet cries. Prince bashing the internet, saying it's totally over. White House plan to safeguard cyberspace. More on that from Computer World. Meanwhile, cybersecurity consensus says we haven't done enough. That's from the Washington Times. Again, beating the drums for some Patriot Act. NASA space shuttle firm to cut 1,000 jobs. That's from the BBC. Hacking the electric grid. You and what army? Danger Room notes. Again, the overhyped threat agenda coming about a cyber 9/11. Former NSA executive Thomas A. Drake may pay high price for media leak, which we reported to you several months ago when that happened. More on it from the Washington Post and Threat Level. NSA executive leaked after official reporting process failed. So essentially, he was a whistleblower. And as we're going to see, much like the previous puppet administration, the current puppet administration is no real friend to whistleblowers, despite some of the chatter and lip service you may hear. It's in the action. Mobile phones cause memory loss. That's from webuser.co.uk, and it's not necessarily saying that it's zapping your brain, because it is. It's just saying you're not remembering any numbers or any kind of information that you used to. U.S. scientists create cloth that can listen and produce sound. Another amazing article posted on redicecreations.com. Thousands of laptops stolen during 9-hour heist. That's an interesting story from the Associated Press. And the last thing on this first news purge, teens using digital drugs to get high. That's from Threat Level, and I believe last week we had a clip prepared. I don't have it this time. But ultimately, it's called iDosing, and it's been this amazing online meme that a lot of news networks have picked up on of somebody, please think of the children. But it's a completely hoax thing. It's the idea that you could listen to something and it'll make you totally trip out. Now, meanwhile, that is slightly true. It's being sold as if something really is being delivered into your kid's head through the computer. So track that iDosing meme. As we now jump over to the latest DEF CON 722, bleaker for bloggers. False flag cyber attack could take down the internet. This is what's been building. Tarpley calls it virtual flag terrorism. And some of this does tie in with some of the kind of loud goings-on of the InfoWars team and internet censorship and Google, and some say it's just a lot of, self-promotion. But we're not really into attacking other folks in the alternative media. You can decide for yourself. Good information is good information. That's why we don't follow any kind of leader. But this meme is there. And it all swirls around the I-9/11 event with an iPatriot Act to follow. It swirls around this new Washington Post Top Secret America report. It swirls around with Google and cyber attacks and all those things. It's all connected. Cyberspacewar.com.